Hey guys, welcome back to Life with Cassie. I am back, as you can see from the title of this video. I have not been on my YouTube channel or filmed or done anything probably since November, December. So you guys probably thought that I fell off the face of the earth. I kind of feel like I have. So I'm here. I'm back at it. Going to start filming the family again and what we're doing and things that are going on in our life. But first, let me explain to you guys why I have been absent from the channel and where I have been. All right, stay tuned. All right, guys. So let's get into it. I don't want to make this a drawn out video, kind of boring and stuff. So I'm going to try and make it as short and sweet as possible. The reason that I quit YouTube for the duration of months is because, truthfully, I wasn't sure if I was going to stick with it. And I was trying to get set up to start making soap. And so I was buying soap supplies, my laundry room. I got like a soap cutter and oils and things to start getting back into that. But I started getting sick the end of January. So it was January 28th. Now before this, my husband, he got sick with COVID and was recovering from that. And then it was my son's birthday at the beginning of January. And he didn't get a birthday party because Daddy was sick with COVID and we were in quarantine. So we couldn't do any of that. So we celebrated at home and I had Amazon shipped to the house, a birthday present for him to make it special. And anyways, so the end of January, I ended up getting sick. And I wasn't sure what was wrong with me, but I wasn't feeling 100%. And so I thought it was a UTI. So they have kits at CVS, Walgreens, Walmart, and such. But I went into CVS after I dropped little man off at school, and I picked up a UTI test thing at home, and I tested positive for a UTI. So I was like, okay, great. I did a teledoc because I was trying to stay out of the doctor's offices, and just with COVID and stuff, I hadn't had a vaccine yet. I hadn't had COVID. That was one of the crazy things. So we had COVID here in our house because my husband had it and none of us got it. And it was me, my daughter, and my son, and none of us contracted COVID. And we were all tested and everything. Anyways, so I did a teledoc and they put me on a 5-day antibiotic and it seemed to clear up. And so it was probably sometime in February, I started to not feel good again. And I was like, okay, what the heck? So I dropped my son off at school. And then I was like, well, maybe it's a yeast infection this time. So I was like, well, I have to go back to town a second time to go pick him up. If it is, then I'll just grab the cream then and just treat it at home. So I got the UTI at-home test kit and the yeast infection at-home test kit. The yeast infection came back negative. I didn't have that, but the UTI came back positive. And so I'm thinking to myself, okay, well, I just got off antibiotics not that long ago. Maybe you just give it a couple days. Maybe it'll clear up on its own. So I started not feeling good throughout that week. Just kind of like hurting and just not sure what was happening to my body. And it was February 18th in the middle of the night. I woke up, I was running 100.4 fever, and I had chills. And I had started that the night before, the chills, and just hurting, like when I washed my hair in the shower, it hurt from head to toe, and I couldn't figure it out because there was no fever. And so I was like, great, maybe I contracted COVID. And so it woke me up about 1 o'clock in the morning, and I think I laid on the couch for a couple of hours till I was able to get a little bit of sleep because the ibuprofen kicked in and kicked the fever. Anyways, we went that morning on the 18th, about 9 o'clock, kept the kids at home, because if I had COVID, I didn't want to run him up to school and, go that route. So we were going to wait to see if my test was negative or positive and then make that decision. Anyways, I went in, I took the rapid test, and within seconds they said I was negative for COVID. So that was a relief, but that was one thing to check off the list, but I was still not feeling good. And then my husband, he drove me in because I wasn't feeling good, obviously. And then he had to go do something for work, so I waited in the car. And during that time, I ended up going down with a terrible migraine. Hit me in the car. It was the optical migraine where the sun hurts. You could see the blurred vision going on. And I was like, great, what am I fighting? What is my body doing to me? So anyways, he got me home and I laid in bed till about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Marty was still here. Jackie went to school because Jack came back home and stayed for a little while and then dropped him off. And then I got up and I didn't feel good. I tried to eat a little bit and I just wasn't feeling it. So I took a shower and I drove myself into Fast Tracks urgent care, and they tested me for UTI and that came back positive. And then he tested me for a bacterial test, which is kind of optional, but I said at that point, I haven't been checked in a lot of years, so maybe it would be wise to do so. So I did. It was awkward. I cried a lot. I'm a big old baby. And I think more of embarrassment because I knew something was wrong, but I didn't know what it was. And I was in really bad pain. So anyways, that came back a few days later. But during that test, he told me that I had a cyst on my cervix. And so I'm already thinking the worst. Like, I don't know what this means. What are you talking about, guy? You're freaking me out here. So he said it was benign, that I would have to go and follow up with an OBGYN. And so I left there. They gave me more antibiotics to treat the UTI, about a 5-day antibiotic. And then I think I was able to get the appointment for the OBGYN. It was, it seemed like forever. It was probably like a week and a half before they could actually get me in. And I was in pain that entire time. And so I got into my OBGYN. Now, he was the doctor that delivered Marty when she was born. And that was, 15 and a half years ago. So he did the pap smear. He goes, 4 years? And I said, yeah, well, about that. So guys, don't wait too long to get your pap smears. I mean, here's my story for you. It's kind of embarrassing, that your doctor looks at you and goes, 4 years. This was all because I didn't want to go and do that. And I'll tell you why here in a little bit. So, he goes, you're angry down there during the exam. And I was like, what do you mean? So he says, did they treat you for yeast? And I said, no. He goes, well, I'm going to treat you for a yeast infection, 7-day antibiotic to clear that up. And then we're going to order a transvaginal ultrasound to see what's going on with you. And so I was like, okay, well, at least we're going to get some answers to what's going on. Now, at this point, I guess in the duration from the OBGYN to making the appointment to the, it's like a radiation place that you have to do it at to get the transvaginal ultrasound done. So it's an internal ultrasound, and they really suck to say the least, especially when you're not feeling good. So our insurance doesn't cover the imaging here in Kingman. It's out of network, and it's the only place here in Kingman. So we had to, get on with the insurance and see who was covered, which it ended up taking me to Lake Havasu City. So you got to drink 32 ounces of water. Now, there's been weeks in between this time frame of going to the OBGYN and then getting myself an appointment to the transvaginal ultrasound. They want you to drink 32 ounces of water before the test, and we live about an hour and 15 minutes or hour and a half away from the test place. So you have to plan it accordingly. And so I was like, well, I'll feel good to drive myself down there. I'm a grown-up. I can do it. I got up in the morning of the day of the appointment, and I felt horrible. Felt like I was going to vomit. my nerves were all over the place, obviously, because I was nervous to take the test. And so I called my mom, and I didn't give her enough time. Then Jack said, okay, I'm going to go to work. When you're ready, come in and I will drive you down there. And so that's what we ended up doing and got the test done, which was miserable because by the time I drank the water and got down there, I needed to pee horribly bad and I was hurting really bad. So I was having a really hard time standing. And then just from all the pain, I was just crying. It hurt so bad. And so we got the test done. And then I had to schedule an appointment with the OBGYN to come back in and get the results for the test. So that was 6-7 days. So we got that scheduled, which seemed to take forever. Anyways, I went into the appointment and they go, we didn't get the paperwork from, they go, did you do it here in Kingman? And I said, no, I did it over in like Havasu because the way the insurance worked. And so they had to call over at that place, wait for them to get it, fax it over, however it worked. Well, anyways, this kept me in the doctor's office for about 45 minutes to an hour. Just sitting in there, wondering what was going on. I don't like being in doctor's offices. It gives me a lot of anxiety, and I was already so I just played on my phone. I just played on Candy Crush and went on TikTok and just tried to keep my head straight. And so anyways, I could hear towards that time frame the doctor and the nurse out by the door whispering and talking to each other. So I'm already thinking the worst, like, what are you going to present to me, doc? You know, like, what's going on with me? Now, at this point, guys, I want something to be wrong with me, obviously, because I don't want to feel like I'm crazy. You know, my body is hurting, and I'm doing this from the time I wake up till the time I go to bed. Like, what is going on with me? You know, you're kind of in a catch here. You want something to be wrong with you, and you don't want something to be wrong with you all at the same time. So, anyways, my doctor comes in. He sits down, and he says, you have a cystic mass on your left ovary. You have, now here's the kicker. So back in 2013, I had an ectopic pregnancy that ruptured, and it ruptured internally. And so they had to take my right fallopian tube. And as I thought I was informed, they took my right ovary as well. Well, when they did the transvaginal ultrasound, she goes, you have your ovary over here. You have both your ovaries. And I went, what are you talking about? And so she showed it to me. It was there on the screen. All these years, I thought I did not have that ovary, and there it was. So, but I didn't have the fallopian tube on that side, on the right side. And then he proceeds to tell me that I have a chocolate cyst on my right ovary. And they call it, I have the paperwork right here, and that one was a 2.8 centimeter chocolate cyst over there. And they call it, so it's, I'll read it to you guys. It's a trans-abdominal exam, shows the bladder with normal limits. Cystic area noted in the right ovary. Transvaginal study performed to better evaluate the uterus and the adenixa. I don't know if I'm saying that right. And the endometrium, see, it's hard to say. The endometrium measures 11 millimeters. I'm actually going to have to look that up, guys, because I guess now I've read this 100 times, but I don't know exactly what that means. But it says my right ovary has a 2 centimeter complex cyst with internal septations. And my left ovary has, it measures, he says the measurements on it, with a 2.0 by 1.5 centimeter cyst or follicle. And so 13 millimeter echogenetic cystic area, also with the left ovary and no free fluid. It says there's no evidence of a urine mass. The endometrium measures 11 millimeters. Complex cystic mass is 2.8 centimeters. in the right ovary with internal septations. And it says it may reflect a chocolate cyst over on the right side. And then over on the left side, there's a 2 centimeter cyst or follicle in the left ovary and no free fluid in the cul-de-sac. Okay, that was extremely foreign to me, and I had to ask the doctor to print me out this so I could bring it home to Jack to explain to him what was going on with me, because they don't want anybody else in the doctor's office with you when you go in because of COVID. So we did a lot of research on it, and so what the doctor wanted to do, and what we are doing right now, is he put me on 6 months worth of birth control pills, and I don't take the placebo pill in it because he doesn't want me to menstruate. He doesn't want the cyst to grow right now. And then at 6 months, he's going to go in. Hang on a sec. Sorry, guys, if that light in the background over there was making some weird flickers. It was catching my eye, too. So I know I filmed a lot in the video already, but yeah, I think I've got it to where it won't come in and out on you. Anyways, so he put me on the birth control pills, and he said at 6 months, we're going to go in laparoscopic and see what's going on and how big they've gotten. I'm sure a transvaginal ultrasound will end up being one of those things too. They talk about an MRI, blood work, and things online that they can do to further see it. And then he's talking about a hysterectomy. So I was like, oh, whew, that was a lot to take in all at once, doc, you know, like, I'm already emotional. I'm already hurt, and I already feel like crap. Like, okay. So I read a book by a doctor in Manhattan that he is like the world's renowned endometriosis specialist. So I don't know what else is going on inside of my area, because, like, no joke, it makes sense. I started my period when I was 13. And so I remember in high school not being able to go to school because my periods were so horrible. I would be like in the fetal position. I took the max dose of Midol and ibuprofen that you could take when I was in high school, probably 15, Marty's age, and nothing would work. Nothing, especially the first couple of days of my period, were horrible. And it did this all the time, even after I had Marty. And I had changed my diet when I moved in here with Jack. We didn't eat as much sugary food, and we never drink soda, hardly ever. And then I remember times where I could feel it coming, and I knew if I didn't get out of my bed and get the ibuprofen in before that hit, that I wasn't going to be able to get from A to B. And then there was times where I couldn't get off the bathroom floor because of the pain. I missed work numerous times because of periods. I've had gestational, if I'm saying that, gastrointestinal problems, and intestinal problems, bloating. So that's one of the fun things that comes with this. You get endo belly. And I couldn't figure out for the life of me what it was, because I had bought blue jeans not too long ago, and then they started not fitting. They fit when I stood up, but as soon as I sat down, they didn't fit. And then I started working out, thinking I was gaining weight. I changed my diet a little bit. I started eating more plant-based and tried to really watch what I was eating. And I felt great. I felt wonderful. Like it was kind of like calm before the storm. You know, like, man, you're getting it. You're 5 days a week working out. You're busting your butt. You're working out. You're feeling great. And then boom, all of a sudden this hits, and then it's like just a damper in your day, in your life. And so I have hardly been able to exercise, and I did the other day. And within hours of that, I ended up having some bleeding and horrible abdominal pain. And so I was like, okay, did more reading online. And so since your body is in chronic pain all the time, it sends receptors up to your brain. And yeah, it's just your brain and your whole body is connected, and it works together. And so for me, like, being in the chronic pain, my body feels like it's almost doing like a ab workout. It's tense. It's it feels like this on my hips and my back and my female area, my legs and everything. So it feels, and one of the things in the book that they described it as was being wrapped in barbed wire, is what the women would describe it as. And I mean, and it's, if you have it, girls, if you're watching this, whoever is watching this who has endometriosis, you know what I'm talking about. And it is from the time you wake up till the time you go to bed, you get no break with it. And if you do get a break from it, it is not very long. You almost have this window of feeling normal, and you take that opportunity. And then for me, I do too much, and then I end up paying for it later. So like during the week, I do a lot, and then come Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, my body's like, you're done. You need to rest. We're putting you down. And it does. It's been doing this for the last month, 2 months, or however long it's been. I mean, we're getting up to May. So what? January, February, March, April, May. I've been 4 months with this, guys. It has been miserable. So hopefully we can get more answers in the 6 months when that happens. So yeah, and I found an article in a health magazine. It's Good Health Lifestyles. It was at our health food store. And I was like, something just told me to like walk over there and get a magazine. And I did. This was the article that was in there. So I was like, okay, that's wonderful. That is what I need to read. And so I started taking curcumin, because for me, ibuprofen, any pain, like home pain stuff, like does not touch the pain at all. I use it if I get a headache, which the last headache I had was a couple months ago, which was the doozy one. I've had like 2 of those during this time. But the curcumin is like turmeric, and so it helps. It comes to reduce pain and inflammation of the endometriosis, is what the curcumin delivers. So it says some people have relieved, or wait, hang on. So guys, glasses are on the head so I could film. I'm having a time seeing the words on this paper. So bear with me. But people have relied on the pain relieving properties of curcumin. So the main compound in turmeric for generations, and hundreds of studies have been confirmed its healing abilities. So I'm hoping that this will help with easing the pain, the curcumin. And then I'm also taking ashwagandha. Now, I don't know if I'm saying that correctly. But anyways, so like I said before, the pain that you have goes up into your brain, and your brain sends receptors all through your body because it's trying, you have foreign things that are growing, not really foreign, but you have things growing in your body that shouldn't be there. And so your body, for me at least, is on overdrive, if that makes any sense. It knows something's wrong, it knows it's in pain, and it's trying to figure it out the best way that it knows how. And so I'm one who struggles with anxiety. Not so much depression, but anxiety. I can be a worrywart. And so having this going on stresses me out just a little bit. So anyways, I want to make sure that I'm keeping that under control, because I went for a real long time, a couple years, where I was trying to figure out what was going on with my body when Mart was little. And it was just crying all the time. My hormones were all over the place. Come to find out, my hormone levels were not where they needed to be. And so we got that under control. And I would like to keep it that way. So when the doctor said putting me on birth control, all I kept thinking in my mind was, I do not want to go back to the way I was before, because I won't survive it. My family won't survive it. It's not going to happen. And so I want to make sure, since they're with the birth control and stuff is messing with my hormones, I don't want to be able to I want to be able to get through this and, figure it out to where I'm not a crazy hormonal person. So the ashwagandha, so it says endometriosis causes chronic severe stress that can worsen the disease. So I've also found, obviously, that endometriosis is a disease, trapping you in an endless stress cycle. And so the research found that women with endometriosis have significantly higher levels of the stress hormone cortisol. Ashwagandha, a prized herb, has been around for centuries to calm stress and balance the body's stress response. So it says that it reduced cortisol levels in women by an average of 25%. So, and it says it'll help calm anxiety, improve sleep, and reduce pain. And then another one was omega-3 fatty acids, which I've been taking that since, gosh, probably 2013, maybe even before that. And I'm very consistent. I take 2 pills a day, every day. And then I take vitamin C with elderberry. I take B12, D3, iron, a probiotic. I take biotin because after having Jack, my hair got really weird and I wanted it to be able to grow and be healthy. And I have a spot back here that just drives me bonkers. So yes, I take the biotin, and then now I'm taking the ashwagandha and the curcumin to hopefully help with this stuff naturally. So I don't have to take ibuprofen and kill my liver and all that fun stuff that goes along with it. But yeah, so it'll probably be September, October sometime before we have any more answers. But it's been a roller coaster, guys. It has been kind of just survival mode over here at Life with Cassie. I kind of put the channel on the back burner and focused on the kids and Jack, and I just trying to keep up with the house and schedules and driving back and forth and cooking dinner and making sure the house is running smoothly. And that's all I had the energy for. So I've only been on the ashwagandha and the curcumin for about a week and a half now. So I haven't really seen any like that I could say, hey, if you have endometriosis, I would recommend this to you. I can't, as of right now, say that, but I'm hopeful. But the pain, it's weird, guys. It's not like a headache that hurts so bad that, you know, you can't stand it anymore. Us women are tough. Like, the pain is a pain I have never felt before. It's extremely hard to describe to somebody who doesn't have it. And it doesn't go away. It does not stop, and it comes in waves sometimes where the pain can be just like shooting pains on either side, and it just depends, you know, where it is. And it's weird because it's up high on my rib area and in my intestinal area and my lower back where my kidneys are. So I'm kind of wondering if I have it anywhere else. So we'll find out when he goes in there to look and see what's going on. But that's where I've been. I have been solely taking care of everybody here and making sure that their needs are met. And, you know, because I know I'm going down certain days. I don't know when. And so I want my house to be kept up just in case, like, if any of them rupture and I've got to go in for emergency surgery. I keep thinking about the what ifs on this. And so I'm working really hard right now to make sure that it's easy for my family or anybody like who comes in to help. You know, if I have to recover from surgery or anything like that. I've gotten the house exceptionally easy to take care of and manage. And I have certain things that I do during the week, daily and monthly, that I have found very helpful with pretty much getting it from here onto paper, and then I can see it in real time and know what I'm doing daily. But some days are just kind of hobble around, hold on to the furniture, and try and get it done the best way you can. And some days, like today is a good day. I'm hurting sitting here because I'm sitting up trying to film, and I'm feeling a little bit of pressure. That doesn't feel very good. And it's usually towards evening time when it starts not feeling good. But when I have more answers, I will let you guys know. I'll make a video and do that. And I know this has been a long video, but I do appreciate each and every one of you for being here, for sticking around, for listening to my story, to following me and my family. I've lost 1 subscriber so far, and that's okay. I figured that would happen, but I'm hoping to keep the videos running weekly and to get back into soap. And we're just honestly at this point, I can make the soap. I am very good at making soap, and I want to start the business. I have no idea what we're going to name the business. So that has been why it's been on the back burner, because we were trying to figure out a name for the dang soap. So if you guys have any suggestions on what we could call the soap, you can leave those in the comments down below, and maybe we can get some more ideas on it. I don't know. Yeah, I never realized when you start a business how hard it would be to name the business that will be with you for years. And so that's tricky, but yeah, I'm hoping to get back into all that, God willing. And yeah, it's just been, that's just how our life has been going. So, all right, guys, well, I'm back. I'm hoping to be back and stay back, and I don't give you guys months in between where you're like fiddling your thumbs, wondering what Life with Cassie is doing. But yeah, so it's been crazy. Marty got her permit. I'll throw that in there too. She got her permit the other day. Was not thrilled about mom pushing her to do it, but she's doing really well. Little man, still 4 days a week at preschool. Got accepted for preschool in August at the same school. Hopefully we get the same teacher. She has been exceptional. And Mart's grades are still holding great. She's back 4 days a week. Here in the state of Arizona, our governor said that schools K through 12 don't have to be required to wear a mask in the building. Now Mart's 15. When she hits 16, then she'll get vaccinated. I'm fully vaccinated as of Saturday. Jack didn't get fully vaccinated as of yet because he got hit with viral bronchitis. And so he went over the weekend and I made him go to urgent care. So I told him, I said, honey, you sound terrible. You've been fighting this for like 3 weeks. You are not getting better. He's got it in his chest. He's hoarse. And so I said, you got to go to the doctor. So we were eating breakfast at a restaurant in Kingman, and I took little man and he went over there. They wouldn't see him because his symptoms sound like COVID, even though he told him I got vaccinated 1 round and I already had COVID. They still wouldn't see him. So he had to do hypnosis through our hospital, and then they called him back. He got medicine, so he's sounding a lot better. And then Marty, before that, like a couple weeks before that, she ended up going to her doctor because she had viral bronchitis. So they give her cough syrup, and she's doing a lot better. But me and little man, we've been doing just fine. I haven't been sick other than this stuff going on, which now thinking about it, I kind of wonder what it's going to do to my immune system, because I am highly nauseous all the time. I haven't vomited from it, but I've been really nauseous. It almost, guys, like I said, the endo belly, and it feels like you're you feel like it too, but you look like you're 3 months pregnant. But I have heartburn, and I also have extreme nausea. So it's making it really hard to eat, like in the morning and afternoon. And so if I get an appetite or something, then I try to eat. Most of my meals are dinner. And yeah, that's one of the things too, cooking at night, especially not feeling good. Mart's been helping. Jack, he'll help when I need him, but he's been getting home really late. So I've been keeping a lot of freezer food in the house, frozen pizzas, easy meals that I can throw on the skillet or in the oven to keep the flow going. So I cooked lasagna last night, homemade lasagna, which was extremely easy. And that was a hit, and it didn't take me very long. So I was pretty much in and out of the kitchen within 45 minutes-ish from start to finish, and it was cooking. And it felt great, guys. It felt great to be able to get back in there and cook a meal for my family. But yeah, so that's what's been going on. Big Jack is working on getting a business going. So, and then we're hopefully going to get a new vehicle soon, because with Marty driving, we only have 2 vehicles right now. And they have a lot of miles on them. So like my Buick has 230 something thousand miles or more than that. And then the brown pickup, oh gosh, guys, you can just imagine, it's like an 89 pickup. that Jack drives back and forth to work, but he only gets 9 miles to the gallon. So you can just imagine our fuel bill is holy Toledo. So, but we make it work. But yeah, he's looking to get another truck that has better fuel mileage, but we'll have to make payments on it. But we can do it. I'm not making any money right now, but we can be frugal when we need to be. So we can make it work. As much as I don't want a payment right now, it's okay. We're going to make it work, because if not, we're going to be walking or hitchhiking at this point. And so we have a Malibu sitting out there that needs a motor. So we're thinking we're going to get the motor. It's about $600. And so we'll put the motor in the Malibu, and when Sis gets ready to start driving, she'll have a little get-around vehicle until we can upgrade or figure out something else for her. But as of this point, she does not want to drive. But I want her to know the basics. I want her to know how to drive a vehicle, just in case something does happen and she needs to drive somewhere, that she knows how to do that and she can. Even though she's totally against the idea of driving. But yeah, and little man's doing good at school, and that's pretty much all that's been going on around here. It's just trying to survive daily life. I mean, most days, guys, I'm lucky if I get my makeup on. I try to before I take Jackie to school, just because it makes me feel better. And especially with the stuff I'm going through, bumming around, and you can't wear blue jeans. So, you know, you want to make sure your sweats are kind of fancy, and, you know, your skirts make you feel good. I've got a dress on right now, just a dress and leggings. And this is wet hair, a little bit of mousse in it, and a clip. I'm due for a haircut, but I don't know what I want. But this is what my hair does. And I'm done dyeing it. So, I don't know if you can see, guys, but I've got a lot of color going on here. I'm letting it try and grow out and see what my natural color is and get it healthy again. So, but I'm rambling again, but I knew I would, because it's been months and I miss you guys. I miss getting on here. I miss having stuff to look forward to. It's like, geez Louise, you know, I mean, I drop Jack off, and if I don't have anything to do in town, I come home and the house chores are usually done. And I just try and find something to do, or if I'm hurting when I come home, I lay with a heat pad until I have to go get Marty. So yeah, the schedule kind of sucks, but it's gonna get better. Well, hopefully, because little man's got preschool again. Will be 4 hours in the afternoon, and then hopefully Marty will drive herself, and then the schedule will get back to 4 o'clock for her junior year. But who knows? It's changing daily on us. But all right, guys. Well, I'm gonna try and get videos out. I'm gonna film the family. I'm gonna film what we're doing. Film the soap. Hopefully get that up and running and get bars out to you guys, because it's really good soap. And I need soap here at my house. I went to the soap shop in Kingman and bought 2 bars and cut it into 4s. So we had 8 little squares of soap until I can make soap. Oh gosh. Yes, it's crazy when you get sick and the things that, yeah, you can't do for a while. And I think I kind of got down in the dumps, and I just got like, I didn't want to, my brain just didn't want to like go in there and start it and do it. And I didn't want to sit here and make videos and commit to that. And so I am committing to this channel and to you guys. All right. Well, thank you. If you guys have stayed here this long, where am I at? 38 minutes. So we're going to have to do some editing. But I have a feeling it's going to be a long video. And if you guys watch it, leave me a comment down below. I miss you guys. I'm back. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Always remember to like, subscribe, and share. And I will catch you all later. Bye, guys.